A cold wind swept across the old apartment block as Marcus, a weary mechanic with grease still on his hands, closed his workshop for the night, silently wondering how long life would keep pushing him down. His bills were overdue, his mother's medicine costs were rising, and no matter how hard he worked, it felt like life was tightening a rope around his chest. As he walked toward his building, he noticed a frail little girl sitting on the first step of the staircase, wrapped in a faded pink blanket, her breathing shallow, her eyes tired but strangely bright. Her name was Lily, the sick neighbor's daughter he had seen a few times, and tonight she looked weaker than ever. When Marcus asked gently, "Why are you sitting here alone?" Lily raised her small trembling arms toward him and whispered, "If you carry me up the stairs, I'll tell you a secret." Surprised but somehow drawn to her innocence, Marcus crouched down and lifted her carefully, feeling how light she was, as if sickness had taken half her weight. As he climbed step by step, Lily rested her head against his chest and said, "You know, my mom cries every night. She tries to hide it, but I hear her. She says she doesn't know how to pay for my treatment anymore, but I think God sends people at the right time." Marcus swallowed hard. Her words stabbed straight into a wound he had been hiding for years, because he knew exactly what it meant to watch someone you love fade away while money stands in the way. When he reached her floor, Lily looked into his eyes and said softly, "You're stronger than you think, Marcus. Don't give up. And thank you for carrying me. I feel safe when you hold me." He froze. How did she know his name? He had never spoken to her before. Lily smiled weakly as if she had read his thoughts and whispered her secret, "Mom says you always help people. She said good men like you are rare. She said if you weren't here, we would have no one." Marcus felt his eyes sting, something he hadn't allowed in years. He knocked on the door, and Lily's mother, exhausted and pale, rushed forward. "Oh my God, Lily. I told you not to go downstairs alone. Thank you, Marcus, thank you so much." She carried her daughter inside, and Lily's tiny hand waved back at him as the door closed. That night, Marcus sat in his dim room, replaying Lily's words over and over until something inside him snapped, the kind of snap that transforms fear into resolve. The next morning he walked into his workshop early, rolled up his sleeves, and decided he would no longer let life defeat him. He began offering discounted repairs, late-night emergency service, and even posted online ads, a thing he never tried before. Within a week, customers started flowing in. Within a month, he was hiring 2 assistants. Within 3 months, his workshop was earning enough that for the first time in years, he felt like he was breathing again. But he never forgot Lily. One evening, he climbed the same staircase with an envelope in his hand. When Lily's mother opened the door, her eyes widened in confusion. Marcus simply said, "This is for Lily's treatment. Please, let me help." She shook her head, tears turning her voice into a whisper, "Marcus, this is too much. We can't accept this." But Marcus gently placed the envelope on the table, knelt beside Lily who was drawing stars on a piece of paper, and said, "You told me a secret, now let me tell you one. You saved me too. You reminded me who I was." Lily hugged him with her fragile arms, and in that moment Marcus felt richer than any man alive. As weeks passed, Lily's condition gradually improved with new medication, and every time Marcus visited, she made him promise that when she grew up, she would work hard, just like her hero. One day, Lily surprised him with a drawing, a big man carrying a little girl up a staircase, both smiling, surrounded by stars. Under it she wrote, "The mechanic who carried me, carried my whole world." Marcus framed it in his workshop, where customers noticed it, often asking about it, and the story inspired everyone who heard it. Years later, when Lily finally recovered fully, she stood in front of Marcus's expanded garage, now a successful auto center, and proudly handed him another drawing, this time of Lily standing strong, taller, healthier, holding the mechanic's hand. "You lifted me when I was at my weakest," she said, "and that made me strong enough to lift myself." Marcus looked at her with pride swelling in his chest, realizing that sometimes life gives you the people you need exactly when your hope is breaking. And as the sun set behind them, the memory of that one night, when a sick little girl whispered a secret, became the greatest turning point in both their lives. So if you're listening to this story right now, remember, a single act of kindness can change a life, maybe even your own. And if this story touched your heart even a little, make sure you subscribe to the channel, so more people can find hope, strength, and stories that remind them that good still exists in this world.